Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to class. My name is Peter Akrele Peter Oluwabusayo. I'm your host for this evening. I wish you compliment of the season. Chairpersons and party members, please inform your party members to come to class. Get them to come to class. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat box if I am audible enough.
We can hear you, Peter.
Okay, thank you, ma. So please, you have 5 minutes to inform your. All right. You have 5 minutes to inform your party members to join in class. Thank you. All right, 5 minutes is over, and we are going to kick start now. Welcome to class once again. Today is 27th December 2024, and today's topic is political psychology, myths, and realities. And so I'm going to read the bio of our facilitator, the ED of the Electoral College. And of course, you should expect an absolutely explosive class from our ED. So I'll go ahead and read his bio now. Kunle Lawal is a distinguished Nigerian political leader, celebrated for his dedication to democratic governance, electoral integrity, and enhancing political literacy. With his extensive experience and commitment, Kunle has significantly shaped Nigeria's political landscape, inspiring a more informed and active citizenry. Professional roles and contributions. As the Executive Director of Electoral College Nigeria, he leads the non-partisan organization in its mission to strengthen democratic processes through education and advocacy. Under his leadership, the Electoral College has become an essential platform for promoting political literacy and civic engagement, especially among young Nigerians. Through structured modules and debates, it provides citizens with critical tools to understand governance and hold leaders accountable. In his role as National Publicity Secretary of the COA Party from 2014 to 2017, he championed intra-party democracy, transparency, and participation. He introduced membership systems that fostered inclusivity with the party, demonstrating his dedication to strengthening Nigeria's political parties as democratic institutions. He also ran for the Senate with the Alliance for New Nigeria from 2017 to 2019, embodying his commitment to public service and his vision for a progressive Nigeria. Throughout his candidacy, he actively promoted policies focused on the welfare and development of all Nigerians and drafted 49 legislative bills to address critical national issues. His senatorial campaign highlighted his commitment to policy-driven leadership, even as he sought to broaden the national conversation on effective governance. He is also the author of The Candidate, a book in which he shares his insights on leadership and politics. Through his writing, he offers guidance for aspiring leaders and politically engaged citizens, reinforcing the importance of knowledge in effective governance, recognition, and impact. Kunle Lawal's tireless effort to advance political literacy, civic participation, and democratic values have earned him widespread recognition. His work has inspired many Nigerians to engage more deeply in the political process, understanding their rights and the responsibilities of their leaders. By fostering political literacy, he has contributed significantly to a more transparent, accountable, and inclusive political system in Nigeria. Through his various roles, he demonstrates a profound commitment to building a democratic culture that serves the needs of all Nigerians, empowering citizens to shape the country's future. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our ED, the facilitator for today, with clapping ovation in the chat box, if you may.
Thank you very much, Peter. I thought that you guys would stop reading my bio, and you guys, because the cohort should be tired of reading it. I'm sure they can recite it mentally. Thank you everyone for attending this class. Shortly after the holidays, everybody's still in the holiday mood, so I'd like to say happy holidays to everyone. I hope you all had fun, but of which I am in Lagos at the present. I hope you didn't go through the traffic I've had to go through. For those in Abuja, I also hope the town is not as empty, because I think I spent 23 Christmas in Abuja. I hope the express is not as empty as as it is. It's a very trying time for Nigeria politically, with governance. We're in our 2060, I believe, of continuous democracy. We're not at 26th, so we're approaching our 26th year. Um, I'm sure that a lot of people think there's no psychoanalysis to what goes on in politics, or your assumption generally is that there's no exactly strategy to how politics is. I think somebody saying Abuja is empty, city gets down. Yeah, Calabar should be fun. I loved spending Christmas in Calabar. I even intended to spend it if it wasn't costing two legs and an arm to fly to Calabar and return. Calabar should be fun, or if anybody is there, I always enjoy my time in Calabar. I love Cross River State a lot. We used to, I don't know about Uyo celebrations now, but it used to be quite interesting. Where it was also a nice place to be at Christmas. I've been at Manambra during Christmas too. It's also fun. Um, Multiple towns have spent Christmas. Wow. I've had the unfortunate incidents, and no offense to Ekiti State, of spending Christmas there. I remember I went to have drinks with friends, and Ekiti still scares me. I have PTSD from Ekiti. We're out having drinks with friends, pepper soup on table on Christmas Day, and what I'll call a very large cat, which we found out later was a rat, jumped across the table. We're thinking around punch place. And I remember I screamed, man, me, I don't have liver, I'll tell you guys. My own liver is for speaking English and challenging politicians and debating on TV and radio when it comes to those kind of things. I'm not a hunter. I'm the hunted. When it comes to such matter, until today, it scares me. Anytime I'm in Ekiti, even if I'm in a lounge of my hotel, I'm always afraid of looking at the table. I always believe one big rat is going to jump across. But where it was always fun to have Christmas. And also, where it was nice, I spent in Anambra. I never sleep in Anambra, so I always sleep in Asaba. And I just cross the bridge and go to Anambra. It's always a nice place to spend Christmas. Oscar and Zaria are home for me. I've always spent Christmas there. I was born and raised in a town called Zaria, so Zaria and Kaduna are home for me. I heard Zaria is very cold right now. It's about 13 centigrade. I spoke to my mom, who still works there. About 13 centigrade. And it's crazy, but let's see if, the year is rounding up, it is trying not to be as ED as ED. So you guys are having, is that how we're going to start this class? Remember, for every year about respond, oh, you know me, I'm always there. So there's always a psychology to politics. Most people thought or think that there's no psychology of politics. So your earlier classes were based on, the theoretical perspective of what politics is. But now your later classes are going to be doing something much more technical. And that is the the clear psychoanalysis of politics and more the analytical part of politics. Now, I'll tell you something, let's not go far. And this might not be related. I cannot confirm or deny what I'm about to say, but it's just an example I'm going to give you guys. Preceding a particular presidential candidate declaring he was running for office and etc., something happened. A song was released, and the song's name was Jagaban. If I'm right, this song came out approximately a year before full declaration by that particular candidate. Doesn't look like anything is arranged, right? Now, I'll tell you something. Do you know that if I were, let's say, Igbo, and I was running for office, or let's say I was any tribe, and I was running for office, the only way to get my tribe behind me, even if a lot of them, especially considering a lot of people have started becoming political aware, the only way to get my tribe behind me is this. You call in the cops. How do you do that? You invent deficiencies in which those deficiencies, when people who are just being politically aware of other tribes make a statement, your tribe will be forced to defend you. At that point, you have your tribe behind you. When you lace this with delivering someone who was massively followed by Northern Nigeria to presidency and achieving their dreams, that means you had the backing of the North. You had already considered to sway and lose the East. Because all you need in Nigeria is two regions. And remember, nobody has won presidency in Nigeria without Rivers State. You smell the governor of Rivers State becomes a candidate, you foil the G5. You foil all our opposition parties, including Labour, because I'll get back to how Labour became the problems in Labour, which are still there emanating. And then you foil opposition parties. Then you just sit down and watch the way it happens. The cookie crumbles. Who believe that the same candidate that was saying Agbado, whatever, and you guys are joking about, there's no bad publicity in politics. If you look at Trump's elections, Trump assured he was in the news cycle constantly. When Kamala Harris said she worked in McDonald's, he went to McDonald's to work. Said, I'm a blue chip guy, but I'm going to work. He stole the news cycle, stole the trend from her. You guys are becoming a little shocked. Now, all of a sudden, that candidate is no more saying Agbado and funny things. He's now speaking straight. He's not shaking again. You guys think there's still there's no psychological analysis being done of how you think? I'll tell you, I know of a guy who was called in as a consultant, strategy. And this was in 2011, a very young guy. He was brilliant. And PDP approached him. And that's why we don't even have data for the 2011 elections and how they went and how exactly they didn't go. So here's the conversation. This guy was called into the room. There are many mushroom parties coming on, core inclusive at the time. How do we beat them? And the guy gave them a statement which sounded stupid. It was like, a vote for a small party is a waste of your votes. The only big party then in existing elections was PDP. There was CPC, but it wasn't as big. And the rest is history. PDP won that election. Though it's a little hanky-panky, they won that election. You guys still believe there's no psychology in politics in Nigeria? Do you really still believe? Like I said, I can't confirm or deny any of these statements. Maybe I'm just telling you the stories. I also cannot confirm or deny that these things were planned this way. But what I can tell you is that it's not what you think. Someone in Oyo State had run for office about 2 times. And he always had like 41% of the votes. The other party always took about 49. He approached this very young guy and he was like, so I do in 2019, this is not happening. And the person was like, approach other tribes. The person had looked at the data, took the data of entire elections in Oyo State, took the data, looked at everything expansively, and said, Oyo accounts for at least 19% non-state indigenous votes. They normally don't even vote. Make your posters in Hausa, approach those ones in Hausa, approach the rest. You still get your indigenous minimum, which you always had 41%. And the person today is governor of Oyo State. One in 2019 and one in again. Landslide, both landslide breakthroughs. So like I said, I can't confirm or deny any one of this because some people are tied to NDA agreements, etc., etc. But if you think there's no psychology to politics, then I would say you're exactly where they want you. The game of politics in Nigeria is a lot more critical than we think it is. It's a lot more full of more strategy than you can imagine it is. Just imagine an elite that know what you think, how you think, and what your reactions would be. And they play on those reactions. Anyway, welcome to the psychology of politics, myths, and realities. Now, I'm sure everybody's wondering, what is ED up to in this class? It starts this way. There's problem. There's no problem. I'm just opening your eyes. So the introduction, what exactly is is political psychology. Now, it's the study of how psychological factors influence political behavior. I know, next question, what's its relevance to Nigeria? So, of course, understanding the unique socio-political environment. Now, this is key. Understanding the unique socio-political environment. It means that what I will try in Bielsa will not work in Gombe. What will work in Bauchi will not work in Osun. What will work in I don't want to say Ekiti again, that rat is coming to my head. But anyway, let's just say Ekiti. What will work in Ekiti will not work in Delta. What will work in Edo will not be functional in Kwara. That's how complex Nigeria is. There's no one size fits all. It's not because Nigeria is diverse in so many countries, no. Each state has its unique operating formula based on how it was created, who has held power within it. Everything is entirely unique to every state. You're totally different. Like Lagos, almighty Lagos. Lagos is I always tell people, the most politically illiterate state. It is also supposed to be the state with the largest voters, but the voters either escape to the 58th LCDA of Lagos, which is London, or go to what's the name of that resort? Not La Tropicana. There's one new resort. They go there during elections. Lagos is supposed to give you at least 6.5 million votes. Lagos has never given 2 million votes. Never. Gubernatorial or presidential. It's disappointing. Sad. And Lagos is exactly where the politicians wanted to be. Feed the media. Lagos has the most disoriented people politically. You can't even have a 40-year-old running for Senate. Why do you think someone like, okay, sorry to mention, JRV looks like he's crazy? Because the Lagos principle is that he must go and line up. And he hasn't lined up. He ran for Senate at a young age in 2019. Ghana had about 200 and something votes. His gubernatorial was over 350,000 votes. He's been doing great. Yeah, he has zeros talking about things he's not supposed to talk, but that's not what this class is about. Why do you think Lagos has been held down? Meanwhile, Lagos supports entrepreneurship, supports everything else. The truth is, there's always a bigger story to things, and we think that meets the eye. Why is the kind of people are always instigated to vote? Kano understands it needs to be a block. Lagos is competing on who has done the best BBL and who is wearing the tightest gold chain on their neck. Problem. But if you think that it's not fed to you to keep you exactly where you are, then you're on a very long thing. Very, very long thing. It's hard for any uprising to happen in Lagos. And that is because the same people that benefited from uprisings in Lagos understood that they were thrown over by uprisings in Lagos. So medium houses are. I didn't call anybody's name. Just because of this class, I've not called anybody's name apart from JRV. And so we need to understand. So now understanding Nigerian political behavior. Now, the first part which is critical to understand Nigerian political behavior is its historical legacy, colonial legacy and military rule. Now, let's start with the colonial. The North was always a feudal run system, which meant one king at the top, few lesser kings down, others come from one point. Western Nigeria was more monarchical, multiple kings, working together, sometimes fighting together, etc., etc., etc. Then you go to Eastern Nigeria. Now this becomes brilliant. And everybody has always said, it seems Igbo people cannot come together. No offense. It's not that they can't come together. But the Eastern system was always a republican system, like you have in a parliament. Everybody comes to the village square, no king exactly, challenging each other. I believe kings in Igbo land seem to multiply, not that they didn't exist, multiply during colonial rule because of indirect rule used by the colonial legacy. But they've always been parliamentarians. So everybody had equal say when they come to the village square, as long as you belong to a family that was recognized. The strength that gives the East is business power. It's the same strength that weakens it politically. The North, what makes it politically strong is what makes it developmentally weak. Now, what makes Western Nigeria politically viable as the best associate? So if you notice, the North cuts the West, the East cuts the West. That's because they're the best middleman. They don't struggle and try to kill you and take part. No, they're not trying to be number one. The West has accepted being number two. They will not take number three. And this is no offense. I'm just telling you how Nigeria works. They're always the best people to liaise with. The West. They don't want to be number one. The other two want to be number one, but they don't want to be number one. They're comfortable at two, but they will never be three. They'll strike any deal to ensure they're not three. They're like best people, but what makes them viable as good followers is also what does not guarantee them leadership. Rare occasions. Now you have the cultural part, which is of course the ethnicity, communal identity, and religion. I don't know. I don't need to tell you how. Now, just is the perfect example for this Plateau State. The perfect example for this. Plateau State runs a rotation, even in Christianity, between the Anglican, the Catholic, Cooking, and Ekwa. Who the hell does that? I've projected in my time that the first two states to present non-Indian governors will be Plateau and Kano. Now I'll get back to Kano and why. Now Kano too is becoming as divisive as Jos, based on religious and communal, but more on communal identity than religion. And Kano has almost a voting population, non-indigenous voting population of about 30%. If this continues to rise, it's projected that in Kano by 2031 or a little by 2035, if there is a non-indigenous being presented, the fact of the indigenous running against each other in multiple vote lines will guarantee a non-indigenous becomes government. Now, this is not bad. It's good for Nigeria. Just opening up where it can happen. Plateau the same. Because of this boxing match between Anglican, Catholic, Ekwa, Cooking, and others, it's going to have the same problem. Now, economic poverty and voter inducement. You know, I laugh when the middle class says, people are hungry, that's why they don't vote. Now, let me ask you, if you're really hungry, you're really, really hungry, and you know that if I vote for this person, I'll have food for 4 years. Would I take a plate of rice today? Ask yourself, do you think grassroots are that stupid? You're not. It's just that they know that politicians also come for burials, etc. So it's a continuous circle. In the middle class, don't get your name out of it. Yeah, inside this WhatsApp. Because you too, like I've said, run for office. You charge 6 million for a website. You charge this is that. Lisa is here, right? Lisa, are you here?
I should.
Can you hear me?
Lisa, yeah, I can. Lisa,
Okay.
for rebranding the Electoral College website, what price they give us? Because they say we're in politics and our name is Electoral College. It was 1 point what? Rebranding or not building?
Yeah, it's 1.4 thereabouts.
Yeah, 1.4. Just because we taste politics, we sense politics. That's the active middle class on duty, on steroids. And that is why there's voter inducement and poverty in Nigeria. It's not politicians that demand it. It is the same citizens that you are demand listening. Because that's the only way you're going to get voted for. I've said this multiple in classes, so I'm not going to be expanding on it. Now, emotional voting over rational decision making. Nigerians vote massively emotional. So if you're going to run across a strategy, you must put that in. In 2019, when I was running, no offense, I had posters in northern clusters of Abuja with Ibrahim Lawal. Taco market, my posters were, I thought Taco has quite a large Hausa community. My name was Ibrahim Lawal on those posters. Who is going to write? I was saying Kunle there. Am I on cheap drugs? When it was going to the central part of, Abuja, still Kunle. I didn't waste my time sending posters to Abaji or whatever. It's waste of time, money. I knew their decision already. It doesn't change. How can this non-Abuja person come and that's how they saw it. So we must understand that emotional and irrational action is always in Nigeria. I can tell you can dislike a candidate, but the moment a candidate comes to your church or mosque, it's your guy. Let's not act like we don't do it. And this is where we fall into loyalty to personalities over institutions. So on a flight and you sat down with Dino, all of a sudden, like, Dino is not that bad. If you go to a party and, you're sitting down with Wiki.
Please bear with us. I think the ED is out. The network has thrown him out. We'll get him back in shortly.
Peter,
Hello,
he's
guys.
back. Okay.
Where did you guys lose me? Lisa, where did
Yeah,
you guys lose me?
about
Peter.
if you're sitting next to Wiki.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wiki.
That was quick. It was just a few seconds. Okay, so
Yeah.
now if you're sitting next to Wike, you're having drinks, all of a sudden, Wike is a great guy. We do not care about the institution. We're always concerned about the personalities. If Wike calls you on your birthday, some of you go haywire. Even though he has demolished your mother's house in Abuja, you'll be like, my mother has her life now. That's who we are. We don't understand institutionality of anything. We're more stuck with personality. So myth one, my vote does not count. Now, origins of these myths are electoral malpractice and rigging history. I don't think I need to define this. We're very conversant with it. And what's the psychological impact of that? Voter apathy and disengagement. The reality is that there have been incremental improvements in electoral reforms, e.g., BVAS, etc. A lot of people want to argue this. I'm expecting questions later. Empowering the electorate to demand accountability. And election violence in Nigeria has been brought down by more than 45%. If you doubt what I'm saying, I can give you books to buttress this fact. And this data is relevantly available. So elections that were really mad with destruction, we do not have things for right now because then social media was not at the heights it was at right now. But I'll tell you that, I'll give you an example of Lagos. So I worked on monitoring in Lagos, and Lagos has about a little over 10,000 polling units. Lagos has always had an issue with above 1,000 polling units in every election that's had. This time, it had issues in only 326 polling units. So the effective, quite a lot of CSOs and everybody putting the EU and donors putting their hands together. But if you ask the average Lagosian, they'll still tell you they scatter election in Lagos. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect yet. We're Nigeria. We're a problem. But it's been massively brought down. 2019, people were burnt in their houses. Rex, residential election commissioners, were burnt with their families in their houses. Two inside Kano and I can't remember well. But everybody seems to have forgotten. We sweep things under the carpet. Me too. Politics is only for the wealthy. Now, this is, I think, the cheapest trick in the book for most middle class and poor people, that if to believe financial capital is prerequisite for political entry. I can give you 1 billion naira now. You won't even win local government chairman. And the psychological effect of that is the dissuasion of competent ethical candidates. Because what we've grown to, since we believe that politics is only for the wealthy, is that we now think that except you're rich, you can't run for office. So if Kunle tells you he's running for president, you mock him. But if I come with a G-class, 15 PAs, 35 mobile policemen, you'd be like, this guy is ready. Shame on you. Because you're the exact reason some politicians can try. Now, what's the reality on ground is that there's been a lot of grassroots mobilization and crowdfunding as alternatives, which I was a beneficiary of. I raised about 9.5 million running for office in 2019. And there are individuals, a lot that have succeeded without well. And they will keep being a lot more. It's just you need to adjust your strategy. Now, the third myth is ethical religious sentiments always drive. Now, politicians must align with ethnic or religious blocs to succeed. That was what we thought. But it's funny that sometimes, a lot of time, religious sentiments and ethnic bias do not necessarily dictate. They could alter, but they do not dictate. We've seen that happen a lot. The reality of that is that the success stories of cross-regional and cross-religious candidates have happened. Lower levels, yeah. House of Rep, Senate, State House of Assembly, local government chairman, multiple successes of this. And there are gradual shifts, as we're seeing, towards issue-based campaigns, which makes the electoral college so critical now because we're teaching people how to address issues. So this makes us very, very critical to what is going on in all of this. I don't need to flog these things. These are things that you know every day. Now, the reality of political cynicism, which we have in Nigeria a lot. We believe all politicians are corrupt or self-serving, which is not true. Yeah, we could say that for 70 or 60 argument, but doesn't make it all politicians. And the psychological impact of that is somebody entering an electoral college class and telling me the Constitution is ideological and what he is saying is reality. Meanwhile, nobody knows what he has written on paper. But he had the audacity. He had the. Let's just use the word effrontery. Let me not say bad things. It's holidays. I'm in a good mood. So just reduce citizen engagement in governance, which I'm sure is the result of that. We have also normalized unethical political behavior. Like a politician coming spraying money, politician telling you he can't do this, he can't do that when it's not in the job jurisdiction. Now, this is more like I'm teaching this like an advanced class because the foundations of all this, you know, and I've said, and I'm not going to repeat in class, I'm talking around in circles. So this is what we're going to. Now, in counteracting cynicism, we must promote transparency and civic education. It is most important. And that is why Queen Lawa will sit down today and I'm supposed to be, having a dirty December in Lagos. Wait, how much is $1? I was just joking, there's no dirty December. I'm at home playing Assassin's Creed. If you play PlayStation a lot, one of my favorite games is the Assassin's Creed. I'm a fan. I'm always playing it. Anyway, That was just to, how do I say, water ground so that class doesn't come to, I don't start throwing missiles up and down. So it's critical that we promote transparency and civic education. The most critical that we do that. And my favorite part, the role of propaganda in Nigerian politics. Now, every party uses propaganda. NNPP, APC, PDP, Labour, every party uses propaganda. If you don't vote for us, Nigeria will not succeed. I need to tell you guys this before we got to get into this part. Every candidate in every political party in Nigeria loves Nigeria. The difference is how they choose to love Nigeria, or the effect of how they think Nigeria should be loved. I'm sure our ladies are most conversant with this. You know that every guy loves them. It's how the guy shows their love. That's what depends on how they pick. Ladies, I hope I'm right. I could be wrong. You guys, you don't know what you want. I'm just attempting to guess. I don't know what you guys want. So it's the same with political parties. Yeah, we all love Nigeria, but there's it's how we choose to love Nigeria. And political parties in Nigeria have found a right vehicle, which is propaganda. So the psychological techniques used are fear-mongering. Nigeria is going to die out. Nigeria will not survive past 2031. If this, it's the usual MO. Go to 1960 campaigns. They've been saying that. They're just remixing this thing. This time to be a song featuring Wasiu Ayinde Marshall. Next one to be songs are more upbeats. This is not a Second Republic politics. Let's add Arya Star inside the game. Add Arya Star version of the Yans, but it's still the same thing. It's fear-mongering. That's what it is. And then fake news and misinformation. Yes, when you already know that the political class is what they call it, is politically illiterate. Fake news, sells. Emotional appeal over logic. Emi Lokon. The Igbos have never been president. This, that. Voila. And what this has an impact on voters is manipulation in straight decision making, which would have made and chosen better leaders, and then polarization of communities, making it an us versus them, which for me is really dangerous for the entire political system. Now, the psychology of political hope is that you cannot govern a country without adequate inclusion. And this involves women and youth, not by law, but by meritocracy. For youth involvement in politics, especially with not too young to run, was spelling. Rising awareness on governance issues is key to political hope in Nigeria. And then increased advocacy and community participation are very key to political hope. I told you guys this is an advanced class. I'm not breaking down these little things. We've said these little things across the road. I'm not breaking down baby things that you already should know. So what are the actionable solutions? We need to build political awareness, socialize the Constitution. The Constitution should be part and parcel. Know the Constitution first. Stop arguing whether the Constitution is good or is bad or it's not. Is our Constitution? Calm down. So let it be something that is already part of you right now. We need to foster inclusive politics, support marginalized groups, engage in debates and issue-based campaigns. For those parties, even in this electoral college that are dodging debates, that's why I ban you from elections. But yet you'll be mocking political candidates when they don't come for debates. Can you see how you people are? And there's the need for massive reorientation and political literacy. These are the points which I don't think I need to flog so much. And in conclusion, the ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. That's JF Kennedy, former President of the United States. We need to commit to understanding the myths and realities of our political system for informed citizens create a stronger Nigeria. For the love of the country, Kunle Lawal. I wanted this class to be short, well definite, and I wanted it to be interesting. Thank you everyone for this. And we can proceed to the Q&A.
Thank you so much, ED, for the explosive class. I always knew that your class would be explosive and then thought-provoking too. Thank you very much. So, having been conscious of time too, we'll take 5 questions from the chat box and
No,
five.
5 from this thing, because I don't want to keep everybody's holidays. It won't
Oh
be
yeah.
fair, you know. And besides, who says maybe he's trying to escape to one bed? You never know. We're all trying to escape.
Is it okay to take 5 from chat box and 5 from the audience?
Yes, it is. That's
All right.
10. Man, if they've served item 7 before I get to that this thing. It's you that will give me this thing.
Okay, maybe we should reduce it to 3-3 then. Maybe 3 in the chat box.
No, that was a joke. That was a joke. I was joking. I'm
Oh,
not
all
going
right.
anywhere. There's Arsenal match today. You can see my brothers at arms are telling you. I'm wearing a jersey now. Come on. They're already telling you
I've seen it.
there's match today. Mm-hmm.
All right. So please, you know the drill. Just raise your virtual hands if you have questions, and then I will take from chat box. So let's start from the virtual hands. Umar Sadiq, I've asked you to unmute. Please go on and ask your question.
All right. Good evening, the ED. Good evening, and fellow classmates. My name is Umar Abubakar Sadiq, APC from Kaduna. I must thank the ED because today, initially I was angry that why should we have class, but then anybody that is not here today has missed the whole thing. I think it's more of reactions other than question. Now, one of the points was you don't necessarily need to be wealthy to run for politics or to win an election. And I want to say this, that in Kaduna, where I stay, we had a local government elections like October, that's 2 months ago. In my history of tracking elections, politics generally, I've never seen an election like what happened in October. There was no limit across the 23 local governments that actual voting was done. It was later on we now had that, allegedly though, that for councillorship, if you have 7 million, it's guaranteed. For governorship, if you have 15 million, it's guaranteed. Now, and I'm beginning to wonder, in line with what you said, still you projected, but then I am not sure if at the long run, money will not still play a role in our polity. Then give example of the not too young children. How at least has removed age limitation, but then in the political parties, the list for an elective office, in fact, declaration of interest form, nomination form, and blah, blah.
Hello, is it me or he's going out and in? Is it just me?
I think it's his network.
Blah, blah, blah. You are going to, so like the politicians make it.
Mr. Umar, if you can hear me, your
yes,
network
I can hear you now.
Is breaking. Please, maybe you should drop your question in the box or reaction in the box, so I will just read it to save us the time.
Okay.
We are looking to finish
Okay. So if I got what you said, Peter, and this is fair, what I said is that I didn't undermine Nigeria's role in politics and undermine role of money in politics. What I said is that you don't need rich to win. And the examples I gave were crowdfunding. That is me already acknowledging what you're saying. That as of now in Nigeria, you need money to run for office. But money is not the only thing. That's what I was trying to bring out. It's not only for the rich. Now, I know people in Kaduna that won positions, and they are not rich. They just had galvanized and had prepared for whatever outcome. That was the point. That was what I was saying. So I don't know how you translated what I heard, what I said, as you can be poor and just enter poor where in this Nigeria. Let me ask you a question. If and this is a direct question, Umar. Umar, na yi girman Zaria bari in gaya maka
Yes,
fa.
sir.
Na yi girman Zaria. Ka daina wannan magana da kake yi. Na yi girman Zaria. What I said is I grew up in Zaria. I was born and raised in Zaria. I'm a Zaria boy to the core. So Kaduna is home state for me. So I understand the politics of Kaduna. If you are planning, and Umar, I'll tell you this. If you are planning, Dagaparko, as in from now, if you're planning and you're headed towards, you want to be part of local government system in a distance. If you plan for 4 years, you'll get it. Nina Gamaka. I know people that even plan for less. And they won't. You'll be prepared for any outcome. So Council of Kikenima, 7 million, 4 years to raise 7 million. But on our it's just that when they ask for the 7 million, you better have 15 million. So somebody, Ali, you're saying so he is Zarian too. Yeah, born and raised. My mom is still a lecturer in Zaria.
Wonderful.
So I'll tell you the truth. We need to start to plan. Now that's poor strategy. I didn't say you don't need money, but when you don't have money, you have to plan properly. So that when the time comes and then position, those are key. Planning and positioning are more important than money in politics. How many cases? I don't want to call names, but you're a Kaduna person and you know what I'm saying. There was one former chief of staff that ran against somebody that's for Senate. I didn't call anybody's name. I've told you I'm not calling anybody's name because both are my friends. And we're all same set that gave you. Who had more money than who? Who won the other person? Stupidly. This is practical. So if you think I'm not even concerned with the politics of Kaduna, she Bakaseniba. But Mr. Lau was prepared. Like I said, I don't want to call names. Let me take the next question. Thank you very much, Omar.
All right, thank you, Edie. There's a question in the box here. I'll alternate it. So it says, it's from Edwin John. It says, do you believe grassroots mobilization is enough to challenge the dominance of wealth in Nigerian politics? Why or why not?
It is. If you ask me, I'll tell you it is. And I've seen it work multiple times. The biggest problem with people without the kind of financial backing that want to run for office in Nigeria, because when you see somebody without that much financial backing, like for example, Barack Obama, etc., they had a long trajectory. Nigerians will come out just with next year. I pray a lot of you join the electoral college system. Next year, you see the number of people that will come out of Nook and Cram, no plan, just bought form and they want to win office. How now? Not done anywhere. Whether you have the money or not, it's not done that way. So I believe extensive grassroots mobilization and etc. can alter changes, but it has to be strategic. You don't take one step, then you tire, you put one borehole, I say they went thankful, I'm angry. Doesn't work like that. It's a long plan. So I agree. Yeah.
All right, so we take the next one from the audience. Adolphus, please unmute and ask your question. Adolphus, then.
Yes, I am here.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Edie, for the insightful class. My question borders on the issue of, first of all, awareness on the part of the ethic and religious sentiments and how it will always thrive. And lastly, on the increased advocacy and community participation. I hail from Benue State, and there is currently a political situation in the state that affects these areas that I have highlighted that have formed the core of your class. The governor of Benue State has placed a ban on certain economic activities in the state, or on certain businesses, which other persons are leasing these premises to carry out business and earn a living. And the defense from those that are affected is the fact that some of them are National Assembly members who have said, as National Assembly members, they should not be taxed. And then the governor is insistent on taxing them, and some who have allegiance to the secretary to the government of the federation. These are the core of the persons that have been affected. Now, at the end of the day, you discover that these persons who have leased these avenues to carry out businesses would form part of the electorate tomorrow. Now, on particularly the issue of awareness, for those of us who would carry the mantle of creating awareness on political literacy in the society today, so that there will be increased community participation in the area of elections, how do you balance? Because you have earlier stated that this politics is a game that's played on the emotions of the masses, whether they are using the economic or the tribalistic methodology. It is played on the emotions of the masses. So my question still remains, how can one balance awareness creation in a situation whereby there is already divide and conquer, which is the norm of the business of the day? The society is divided. Loyalties have been divided to different individuals, and at the end of the day, we are not looking at governance as it should be, or participating in politics as it ought to be. But we are now participating in politics based on what we ascribe to. When you want to create awareness to these persons or this category of persons, you discover that it is very, very difficult to get them to either reorient them on their level of reasoning to be able to see the true picture of how it should be. In such situations, what would be your advice to go about on the issue of community participation or increased advocacy for community participation? Thank you, sir.
Adolphus, please remain on the. You're there, right?
Yes, sir.
Adolphus, first question. Your answer
Yes, sir.
is within your question. Now I'm going to
Okay.
set it back for you and arrange it properly. You
All
said
right.
the governor is the governor is taxing National Assembly members because
So
of
he's
beef within
taxing
him.
he's
Business is
taxing
owned
their
by national,
businesses. Yes,
yes, owned by National Assembly members. Let
yes,
me ask you something, Adolphus.
yes, sir.
Your allowances, do they reach 45 million a month?
No, sir.
Your own personal, wetin concern you with their pet?
My basic concern is
Slow down. I let you talk. Wetin
okay, sir.
concern you with their pet? Wetin concern you with their pet? Therein lies the problem. This is why you can't tell other people or talk to the community, because you are concerning yourself with things you shouldn't be concerned about. They have the money, let them collect it from each other now. What you should concern
Okay.
yourself is that money that is collected, what has the governor done with it in the state? And that's the question you should alarm. Let it not be a raw picture so that fall can have more. And that's what the conversation should be. You see, when I was teaching this class, I clearly stated that diversions are put around, for us here, which are the masses, not to see the big picture. Two people are fighting. You people will take sides. These guys still attend each other's weddings. Their children still get married to each other. And you guys are separating loyalty. Really? If you're going to talk to the grassroots, let them ask the real questions. These monies that we're taking are the government. Let's see the difference between the state's IGR before the taxing and after. Then when we've seen the difference, what was that difference put into? Teach them to say they want it in education, in water, in potable water, in this, in that. That is the answer to that.
All right, sir.
That's the way you can split loyalty. The only way you can split a loyalty in politics is create another loyalty. And this loyalty I'm creating by this question is loyalty to themselves.
All right, sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
very
Adolphus.
Thank you,
you.
Edie. We take the next question from the chat box. This question is from Ayo Orumuyi. Question: Ethics and propaganda. Where do we draw the line in exploiting propaganda while still running a principle-based ethical campaign? Do we also engage those tactics or question mark?
It's not a very easy question to answer, but I would answer it honestly. Very honestly. And you can take this answer to the bank. So we create the Nigeria that Nigeria is supposed to be. You might sometimes have to play bad chess to win the game. It's a very simple answer. And I hope you guys heard me. To get Nigeria to where it is, sometimes we need to play bad chess so that we would win the game. Not me that said it. But I didn't say anything bad. Just picture what I said.
Thank you, Edie. I think there's one more hand in the chat, in the audience side. So we'll take it before we go back to the chat box.
There are two
Joshua
hands right
Thaddeus.
now.
Okay. Joshua Thaddeus, I've asked you to unmute. Please go on. Joshua Thaddeus.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Good evening, Edie, and thank you very much for this opportunity. So my question is on emotional appeal, and you cited an example on the issue of Igbo presidency, and this is something that has been bothering me personally for some time, and I've been wondering, if you look at the history of Nigeria, save for when Agoyin Ironsi was head of state, and then I know the Igbos have had a few stints of other offices like a Senate president, speakers, and the likes. But for a tribe or for a language that is tagged a major tribe in one of the three major tribes in the country, and they've not had, over the Southwest, this is the second time there have been an executive president or elected president. We've had the Northwest twice, and other, even the South. So I'm just wondering, where's the place of inclusion in this? Or I remember in one of the classes we had when a question was raised about youth not being given an opportunity. I remember the charge the ED gave us that day. It was very, very strong, and it was a wake-up call for us youths. But I just want to know, where is the place of inclusion, or how do we
Joshua, I like the history. Joshua, I like the history that you
and
used.
the question of, and
Joshua,
the thing of emotional appeal.
Can Joshua hear me?
Sir,
I like
yes,
the
sir.
I like
Yes,
I
sir.
like I like the history that you used. Your history is very good. As in, this guy, you'll be able to sell shy and bread very well. You directly cut Nigeria's history and started at Ironsi. Who was the first president of Nigeria? I'm asking you now. Who now? Joshua.
I think
Joshua's mic. It's when the question became hot. He's not answering. He cut Nigeria. You cut Nigeria. You did it like I can hear you, Joshua. You cut.
Sorry,
I can hear you, Joshua. Hello.
Namdi Azikiwe.
That's why I said you strategically cut Nigeria's history and started it after Azikiwe. I mentioned you cut it like Shai and Suya. You just cut it. You know those Shai guys that used to sell bread on the road. You just cut the history and started at one end. That's already a bias. And then you're now saying, see, I do not believe, and I've always stated this. If you are saying that as a major tribe, you've held it once. The team have never had a president. The tribes that have not been president, I'm sure, are up to at least 200 and 245. So for Igbos to even have been president first under the Preda, what I was explaining is, propaganda. I wasn't directly talking about an Igbo president or not. Let me tell you, I am of the opinion, and this does not reflect the opinion of the Electoral College in Nigeria. I am of the opinion that federal character has done absolutely nothing for us. Meritocracy is what is key. Federal character will not do anything because what we've done with federal character has not produced any results. You pass on about. I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to put down Eastern Nigeria, or trying to put up Northern, or trying to put down Northern. I don't want to do that. But federal character has done nothing for us. All that rotation of presidency, North and South, what has it done for us? We help as language. We help. If Eastern Nigeria is going to say, and there's a lot of federal character, God, don't come and be arguing. It's Timothy. Timothy, what are you saying? I say there's no federal, Abi. There's no federal character anywhere, safe. That's the truth. So let's be honest. Why don't we just work on meritocracy? Whoever deserves it, fine. If you look at big countries, do you know that one state in America has produced more than 3 or 4 presidents, almost within the space of 30 or 40 years? Who cares about that? If Texas is giving us casino lives, their IGR is as high, who cares where the other person comes from? So let me break it down to Nigeria. If Eastern Nigeria say they are going to give us the best businessmen, have the best business, fine. If the best guys in governance are outside, fine. If the best guys in banking, in whatever are Western, fine. The ingredient, sorry, not the ingredient, the recipe is for the dish called Nigeria wins. How we arrive at that is the problem. But we must arrive at that. If we critically continue carrying the idea, Kwara is supposed to be president, not Central should be president. You have done this dilly-dally since 1960. Please tell me, how has it helped you in any way? Nigeria knows more backslide than Michael Jackson. We've done moonwalk and got off the stage and falling off the stage and doing moonwalk. We've crossed the gate of the stadium. Very soon we'll enter traffic and car with us. We are still doing backslide. Michael Jackson himself don't even die himself. We still do the backslide, bro. He has battles in any direction. So I am off Team Nigeria win. Let him be a Nigerian president. I don't even think we've had a Nigerian president. Our presidents will succumb to one particular region. Which president has protected all? And I think until we have a Nigerian president, we wouldn't understand the mistakes these guys are making. I always quarrel with my friends on the media when they say a Hausa man in Lagos. I say, what kind of nonsense? A Nigerian, which one is Hausa man? Which one is Igbo man? Don't use such donations. And we do it every day. Yeah, Yar'Adua didn't live that long. I believe Yar'Adua was key to it. Even for him admitting that the election that brought him in was bad. Hope you know that almost all the changes in the Electoral Act were proposed kind of by him and then were restructured down to. So I think let's not flog this issue too much. That's my personal view on it. I noticed Alaka's hand up before Joshua, and Peter, you put Joshua before Alaka's hand, Alaka Akim. So can we allow Alaka Akim? Wait. Before we allow Alaka Akim, wait. Let's do something. Is it that the women in this class
I
are
was
still
going to say
cooking?
that thing.
They
I
are
was
still
going to do
cooking
that.
for Christmas. They are still cooking for Christmas, or they are doing makeup for this night's hangout, or they need more time. Because all the questions I've heard in this class were from male. Later now, come on, let me see any one of you open your mouth. And Sakina, you're not allowed to talk. Let me see any one of you open your mouth and talk about me. The men don't want us to rule. You are the one that does not want yourself to rule. Where are you when people are trying to lead? Where are you? Are you even asking questions? No. If this were May Doche support group now, all of you's mouth will be sharp. Yeah, you man, let me have a guy. I'll deal with a guy like you. May is too calm. That one, you know it very well. Well, it was about skincare on Instagram. You people will all be here. You line up now and I'll go first. Hey, your cucumber is not good for the skin. I just drink a little watermelon. So no. Accidental botanist. But now they're talking about power. None of you is here. Yeah, they're checking out Becking bag online so that somebody will buy it for you New Year. Well done. Well done. We're good people, man. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, ED.
Let's allow Alaka speak.
We take Alaka Akim Abioye. Please, I've asked you to unmute. Please ask your question, Alaka.
Good evening, Edie.
Good evening, Alaka.
Good evening, Edie. Good evening.
Good evening, Akim. How are you doing?
Okay, Akim, your network is bad. Can't hear you.
My question is, can you hear me now, sir?
Okay, I think it's better now. Please go on.
Can you
A bit,
Okay.
not
My question is,
manage.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, as a politician with winning mindset, so and that is aware that people have been have been divided through into emotions, religions, tribes, and the likes. So how can one overcome such scenarios since it is dominant that such kind of perception is already available for the populace? So how can one navigate through that area in as much as people will want to direct, or the opposition might want to direct towards dividing one's electorate through like tribe, like religion? How can one just navigate or win those challenges as a politician with winning mindset? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Let me first say something. If you want to work in that kind of scenario, the best thing is to play a little game. First and foremost, are you aware that data-wise, there are more Nigerians that want Nigeria to succeed than Nigerians that are biased? Are you aware of that? The only problem is that they are so hurt.
Yes, sir.
Yes, they are so hurt that they don't vote. Now, your job is to bring, and let me tell you, do you know how much people pay me for just saying what I just said? Your job is to bring that particular set of people to come out and vote. If you're able to do that, you win an election, landslide. But you have to be sellable. So the question is, are you sellable? And by sellable doesn't mean you come to the people and just say, I'm going to save you. Who are you, Superman? You can't save them. You have to understand the issues. You have to act like them. You have to be able to walk through them. You understand? Except you are in Rivers State. Then when you are in Rivers State, if you are running in Rivers State, then all you need to do is tell them you are the political Jason Statham. Anybody that try me, I bring down, I demolish. That's their language. No offense to people from Rivers State. It was too, that same bullet was lying around too easily. I just tried to use it. So that's Rivers State. But if you are from any other state, you just need to pull out those guys and then, actually Actually, so I don't think that's
Thank
what you need to
you.
do.
All right, thank you, sir.
No,
We'll continue.
All right, so we'll
no.
take the next question from the chat box. There's a question from what's this person's name? There's a question from Fatai Salaudin. Says, thank you, Edie. Please, what is this position of spiritualism in politics? Some people believe that one must be in powerful spiritual group before winning election. They opine that no matter the strategy put in place in Nigeria, one must fall to a spiritual group, e.g. Ogboni in Yoruba land, before one can win election. Can we agree that it is just a mere perception or it is reality? Thank you.
Oh, are you done?
Yes, Edie.
Peter, are you done?
Yes, did you hear me?
I don't used to hear those kind of questions.
I noticed. So let's take another one.
No.
Don't-
No, I need to say something about it.
All right.
I don't hear those kind of questions. Let me see. How many spiritual groups am I in? I'll tell you groups I'm in. I'm in a group for Assassin's Creed. We kind of play Assassin's Creed together on PlayStation. I'm in a group for chess. I'm a very good chess player. Very, very good chess player. Let me see the groups I'm in. Yeah, I mean, I'm a member of the Bikers Club in Abuja. What else? I don't know. So I don't know which of them is spiritual right now. I'm trying to figure it out. And I have friends, JRB, someone who I've been with since we're in Koa together. I have multiple friends, Funshodo Hatsi, Aki Braithwaite, and all my friends. Sometimes we go to Ikoyi Club together. I'm still trying to think of the spiritual group we're in. That's the dumbest question I think I've ever heard. Like I said, the only place you might need to, harness the cult boys, to do your beating, but you don't need to be in a group. You just need to harness some of their leaders, Rivers and Calabar, Cross River. Apart from that, I don't think you really need to be in anything else. So it's not only a myth, it's totally boisterous to say that. I don't even understand where that comes from. I don't even know who started selling that thing. I don't know. I really don't know who started selling that thing. You need to be that black magic. And the funny thing is that some of this propaganda and some of these hidden things are actually thrown out by politicians to knock off weak opposition against them. I know, at least I've worked in strategy since 2011. I know what's being done. I'm not the messenger, but sometimes they just call me in as a consultant to help. That was my business. I give the best help available, but I don't know who's in anything. I'm trying to think of what groups I'm in. Man, I'm boring, no. I need more groups. Especially one that, that kind of thing. When you just enter the group, just kill goats immediately. Just drink the blood. You just say, man, now Kunle is a politician. Joke. I'm like, can we go to the next question?
Okay, we take Abdul Hamid from the audience. I didn't know. Please, you can ask your question. Abdul Hamid.
Wait. Before you take that question, I noticed, a jotting from Bridget's diaries. Coming. This is Bridget Diaries. It's not about skincare nor movies. The fact that we're on this class shows we are set for leadership. This quote should be on. There's Nigerian version of Bridget. What? Oh, it's not Bridget Diaries. What's the name of that series? Bridget and whatever series. No, that's one set in 14th century or something. Bridgerton, is it? Peter, what's the name of that series? I know you have a girlfriend that watches it.
Edie, I
Is it
cannot hear you.
Bridgerton? You can't hear me. You guys can't hear me.
For me, I can't hear that kind of question.
Oh, you can't hear me.
Yes.
Bridgerton. But that's the quote from Bridgerton. We're on this class. We're on this class. That means we are
She's
set for
joking.
leadership.
I
Oh
think she's
yeah,
joking. But people were laughing at the comment too.
yeah. But okay, me too. That means I too can joke about it. Sorry, okay, Bridgerton and Bridget's Diaries. I'm sorry, but So Abdul Hamid, you've been trying to
Yes, sir.
unmute since. You people, I say if I miss item 7 in this one bit, I'll take it personal with you guys. My next class, I'll tear you people apart. Back to what I was saying.
You know, miss you. They will reserve your own portion, sir. Good evening, sir, and really
Ah,
appreciate thoughts for working session.
thank
Yes,
you very
sir. My
much.
question is this like talking about meritocracy should be somehow being prioritized in choosing who to lead us, who to represent us. But I want to like talking about the current set of leaders we had today. We criticize them a lot, all this or that. The moment they feel like it's about 9 months to election, even if they are somehow callous and don't want to do anything, they start pretending to be able to do so, purposely to get the emotion and the legitimacy of people to accept them to lead them. But my this thing talking about meritocracy is that, for instance, now someone that maybe is the overall best student in the class, no matter how worst he or she is, it has the hair, eyes, and everything of the people, because that natural legitimacy is there that don't you know him, don't you know her, is this, is that, which it also resonates to arrogance. Now I feel like into leadership as well. Being meritocracy, that it has all the qualification, is very good in analysis, policy making, all this or that, does not guarantee the person is going to be a good leader that will serve the interest and purpose of the world, the well-being of the world, of the people. So in that case, like, we still have measure of like criticizing our current leader, and somehow they might heed, they might pretend and still do little. Half bread is better than none. Okay, in the case of those who are meritocracy, they have the fears of the people, even when they are doing the wrong thing. People are still like, maybe it's for the greater good. How can we like maybe put them into check? How can we feel like put them, have them into command, like to regulate their affairs? These people can maybe like in terms of constitution, all this or that, they can outsmart the people and have their way, even beyond the way the current leader are doing it, more perfect than that.
Okay, I think he has finished asking his question. Edie.
Okay. I needed some time for my brain to change it to legible Lexis.
All right.
I didn't understand the structure of the English used, so I don't even understand the question clearly.
It
But
was just
what I think he was trying to say is that leaders with meritocracy, or leaders who are derived from meritocracy, can be just as bad. There's no guarantee on which way anything is going to work. The only guarantee we have is to minimize the potential for failure. And that's the truth. There's no guarantee. See Kune now. Kune can be a great tutor, a great everything with politics and etc. But yeah, here's the conversation. Imagine if Kune Dawao now gets into power, and Lisa is his deputy governor. You're running things because Lisa and I are from the same state. I don't know how that happened. And then both of us start running things. Man, Lisa fly to Monaco, be back shopping in Milan. ED, ED will just anytime you want to see the governor, just go to Arsenal Stadium. He attends every Arsenal match on state money. You never can tell. So it's just to minimize the risks of bad of an option being bad. Just like when you go into a marriage, you can't say, the woman is a good woman. You say that after, or the man is a good man. You say that after 15 or 20 years. Or you say you're in a good relationship. You don't say that on the first day. You wait for at least 1 year or 2 years. But these days, online relationships are far shorter. So we can comfortably say that after 24 hours or after a Netflix movie, whether the guy's a good guy or a bad guy, or she's a good girl or a bad girl. And that's what we have. So it's just to minimize the risks available, nothing else.
All right, thank you, Edie.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, finally, a question from a lady was in the chat box. Temitope Ogunlana. It says, what's the easiest way to learn the strategy politicians use for their games? Street smart, behavior mapping, McKinsey consultants, whatnot.
McKinsey consultants. Have you seen politicians going to McKinsey to judge elections? McKinsey works for government now. Whoever is in charge pays McKinsey. Behavior mapping. Close to that. Was actually behavioral analysis. Let me ask you guys a question. Why do you guys think I can teach a class in electoral college? Spontaneously. I don't go over my slides. I don't do my slides. Sometimes I don't remember how my slides look. Why do you think I can teach a class in the electoral college? Anybody should unmute and tell me this. Why do you think I'm so fluid in a class? Simple question. Because I taught it many times. Is that what you think? No. How do you think I can almost read? No, I can almost answer any question spontaneously. I don't think. I don't spend time. I don't dilly around. I can hit. Why do you think so? Peter, I'll mute them now. They should tell me why.
They are dropping it in the chat box.
Okay, somebody said because you learned it, but because you lived it. Lisa is not allowed to answer some questions. That's cheating.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'll tell you, all of you are wrong. You've been in the pipeline. I'm crude oil now. Okay, now. It's a lifestyle. Because you've developed your political conscience. No? Inserted myself into it, your experience too. I don't think so. A lot of people have inserted themselves into politics and they have ages far more experience than I do. But they're only second best when I'm around. Yeah, that was arrogance. Interest, passion, repetition, patriotism, patriotism, studies. I don't open books, so planning and purpose. Because they are fed up with nonsense. No. Yes, passion to see greater, better Nigeria. I'll tell you, it's actually my ability to see across anything. So I'm not brilliant. I just can't see through things. I would like to express displeasure to my question. Why is my question the dumbest question? Why are we not learning psychology? Coming from perception of some people out. Wait, did I say it was the dumbest question, Peter?
Edie, maybe you forgot, but
Did I
you
say it
did.
was? I did. Oh, okay. Then now that was not correct. It's actually practically the dumbest question I've had in the entire electoral college 16 cohorts.
Okay.
I'm putting it properly. You're learning psychology today, and that's why I'm telling you it's the dumbest question, because it's non-existent. It does not exist. It is and it shows me that you have totally zero experience in politics. So you don't need to express you could express your displeasure. My answer was intentional in expressing that displeasure, and I'll tell you what. Sometimes when you ask a question, Fatai, you think that you are not affecting the psyche of someone else. What I've learned in civic education is that if I toy with your question, somebody else will swallow the message you just put here. Already some people have it in their minds, and I won't allow you to do that, not in my class. So I'm not hiding. You can express your displeasure from here. Let me teach you guys something, and I need to tell you guys something. This class is about politics, but and I'm not playing and I'm not messing with it. That's what this class is about. But where you seem to make a problem here is when you think that there's a democracy between me and you. There's no democracy between me and you. We are here to lecture you. It's not a democracy. I don't understand. Your opinions are irrelevant. And I am telling you that is what it is. And you don't need to confirm anything else. Please can we move to another question? I'm not ready to entertain Fatai. Fatai is interested in trying to disturb me this evening. So you Temitope was saying, how do we understand the strategy? Now, the games and shifts now, it's actually from, and I pointed it out, it's actually from being able to see. So I'll ask you one thing, Temitope, look at it this way. If you want to understand how a politician sees things, picture yourself in his shoes. If you were him, what exactly would you do? Then look at the Nigerian factor. Or try to picture how he sees people. Has any one of you sat down and thought that, just hold your phone and say, if I were a politician, what kind of WhatsApp message will I be receiving? Now your thought is you'll be receiving multiple messages. Our road is bad. This that's a goddamn joke. That's not what they receive. What they receive the most is, my daughter is sick, my son is this. True or lies, that's what they receive the most. The people telling the truth or lies. My mother is in the hospital. My auntie will die if they don't operate her tomorrow. That's what they receive the most. They barely even receive our roads here are bad. That's one in like 700 messages. So start to think that if you don't trust the people that much, and they remember these same people, because these were the same people that they were going to go and beg as delegates, going to go and beg for votes, and these people were telling her, what do you think you are? We're the ones that choose who you are. Then all of a sudden, those that were talking down on you start worshiping you after they've collected everything they collect from you during an election. If it were you, will you treat them nicely? When you start to see that, you start to think like a politician, start to see how they see things. So, Nelson is well skilled. See, Nelson must have done this thing. Nelson said, we have an award and we have the slot for you for 7 million. Nelson, that is a classic. In short, Nelson, get in touch with your team lead. I enjoyed your this thing so much. Let me buy you small data for that joke. I would personally buy you data for that joke. Get in touch with your team lead to send your number to me, or to Lisa to send your number to me. I'll buy. I enjoyed that joke. We have an award program for it. It's ingenious. That's the exact way. Do you understand? Because, man, you just you have a slot for it. But Nelson, you must make a promise to me that you never actually did it. Because this is classic. It's exactly what they see on the phone. So, Peter, let's have Timmy talk. It's getting late. So I said I wanted a short class. We have ended up staying here till 6:30.
Temitope was the one that we just answered her question in the box now.
I think she wants to say something. Just allow her. Yeah.
All right. Temitope, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Edie. So based on what you just said and the question someone had asked around, you had said something around we need to minimize the potential for failure because even people that are elected based on meritocracy can still mess up. So how can we, what processes, can we put in place so that anybody who gets there, despite the environmental constraints, all the things that they are battling with in their own space, they still need to deliver? Is that where like accountability comes in and holding them to account? Or is there something else we need to be doing so that even though there will still be people here and there haggling them for things, that they still deliver what they're supposed to do on their mandates?
Mandate again. I'm not standing on any mandate to Temitope. But it's great to hear a question from a female. So what I think is critical to all this is that we have always approached this thing wrongly, from top to bottom, which is the pyramid scheme. But I believe it should be the way bottom up. And here is why. If the people were more educated on how their leaders should behave, any leader, through meritocracy or whatever, that reaches the top will behave himself according to the dictation of those particular people. If you continue trying to alter who a leader is, we spend so much time setting up accountability mechanisms, and there's always a loophole. There's still money in the US too. There's still money in the UK. There will always be a loophole. So we've gone further down ahead, and Temitope too, because she's the first girl that spoke, she should get in touch with her team lead, upgrading her phone too, because she stood up and said, I'll call her the Remy Shona of this group. She's so we need to stop thinking of how to hold leaders accountable and building a society that understands what leaders should be doing and their jurisdiction, so that whichever leader gets there is being held accountable by an institution. And that's why they've always preached strong institutions, not strong leaders. Because strong leaders are temporal. Come in, do something good, and they go. And 10 after them will destroy what they've done. But when we build an institution which is founded on the people's knowledge and understanding, we can always have great leaders. Thank you very much. I think we can take Nuhu.
All right, ED. Nuhu Jamboy, please forgive me if I murder that name. Please unmute and ask a question. He has dropped his hand.
No, I am here, sir. I have unmuted.
Okay, please.
Can you hear me? Yes, sir. So yeah, it's really very interesting. Most of the times when it is the ED speaking, we have the opportunity to get a wealth of actually knowledge in terms of literacy. My concern is that the other day when we were dealing with the issue of constitutional review also, I spoke about the issue of ambiguity that sometimes is placed in our constitution. And the speaker actually told us that ambiguity is something that is good. And when you come down to today's lecture, you'll discover that, yes, there are people who are actually struggling. We are struggling with the issue of identity. I think I liked where Edie spoke about the issue of he doesn't really care about where you come from. When we have a Nigerian maybe president or so. So I am not a political student. I'm a literature student, but I really want us to maybe think about talking about this issue of national identity, because it's one of the issues that is actually obeying to what we are actually facing today. If you really check it, because most of us, it is skewed when you begin to think about, I want to contest as a chairman, for instance, but I'm not from that local government, but I grew up from that local government, and I want to contest, but people there are not actually seeing me like an indigene, and it's something that is conflicting to some of us. So I really want
No,
yes,
I love what you're saying. But no, why do you think we had the class on national ethics? Why do you think I sat down and told people I ran in Abuja? Even in this class, while talking to you, I stated clearly that I didn't send posters to Abaji. Did you ask why? I think I said why. Because I know that Abaji will never want a non-Abuja senator. But let me tell you something. I don't care. You need a particular arrogance in politics. Now, this is not your candidacy class, which I'm supposed to say this, but I'll say it now because of your question. You need a particular level of arrogance in politics. The people don't know what they want. See, I've never told you, and this is psychology of politics. Let me tell you, the people never, everybody here wants a good leader, but their translation of a good leader is different. And I'll explain. The people never know what they want. I'll give you an example. If today I'm doing the blue rail, someone has done the blue rail. In case I'm doing the purple rail in let's use Ekiti again, where the rat scares me. I'm doing the purple rail. Some people are going to be pissed because I'm going to demolish houses. They're going to tell me, do I have the right to do that? But when the rails start working, people with businesses will keep saying, Pulilawal changed the Ekiti state. But I will still be in court about those people's houses I demolished. The people don't know what they want. And the road transport workers will also be vexing for me because this is the position. I am taking their markets away. Less people travel by road. The people never, ever, if there's anything you're going to understand, any basic thing, is that one, a politician needs to have some form of arrogance. You are telling me that indigents will not accept you. They don't need to accept you. The Constitution accepts you. If you want your target market, run in a place where there are massive non-indigents. That was what I did. At least I'm not telling you to do something I've not done before. I'm telling you what I have done. I ran in a place where there were massively non-indigents, and non-indigents beat the indigents by far. In Abuja's history, Abuja has only had one senator that was indigenous. One. He stayed there for a long time though, but one. And it's gone back to status quo. So what is their indigenizing? We have. If you can run, go to a modern town that is full. And the truth is that you already have a block that will vote for you. And this is psychology of politics. You already have a block that will vote for you. And do you know what that block is? The non-indigenous. They don't have a candidate. Become their candidate. At least you're sure that the indigents and co, they will bring out 10 candidates. They will split the vote across 10 separate sets. Look at the numbers. Look at the percentage. If they still have become the non-indigenous candidate, you will win. You guys should stop practicing. You are in the electoral college. There is no law. Know this. In politics, in strategy, and psychology, there's no law. You always, at any point, have the ability to prove what is possible. If I have not done this, I will not be telling you, but I have. I'm not speaking theoretically. I'm not saying I started a poultry with one egg, and now I have 60,000 chickens. No. So that's my position. No. That's my clear position. It's not the position. It's the position I took when there was no electoral college. There was just one mad young boy that had 80,000 naira in his account and declared to run for Senate in 2016. The rest is history. So, no, there are no rules. No rules at all. Stop waiting for indigenous to accept you. No one will accept you. And I'm asking you guys to think, who said, and this is me telling you, who said, if we take back American elections, most of you thought Trump will not win. Do you know why I knew Trump will win? Because you guys disliked him. It is recipe to win. Dislike turns to popularity. Popularity turns to news cycles. Whoever maintains the news cycle wins an election. You want to understand the psychology of elections? Just like you thought your president will never win. His hand is shaking. He said Agbado. He said this. He went to Chatham House. He was passing questions around. You were talking about him. News cycle. News cycle, win election. You want to understand the psychology of politics? I just helped you.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Edie. Thank you so much. I think there's no other question in the chat box and there's no other hand raised. So I believe we have come to the end of today's class. Thank you so much, Edie.
Thank you, everyone. And I'd like to say this in closing. If you ever want to go into politics and you're advising a candidate or you're talking with a candidate or you're with a candidate, your greatest weakness is what you think is your weakness. Your weakness could be your strength. I told you people, don't go there and go and say, I'm running for office, or go and tell your candidate you're running for office. You're young, we can see it. You're a woman, we can see you. You're well shaped. Even if you've done BBL or you've not done BBL, no problem. You're well shaped, you can see it. Do you understand? You don't need to tell them you're a woman. Prove to them you're more than that. Don't ever go anywhere and tell people what it's a political mistake. Tell them I am Igbo. You know I'm Igbo, that's why they can see it. They know already. Don't sell what they can see. Sell what they can't. I know how much I'm paid for the things I've said in this class. But you guys need to know it. So thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure having taken this course. It's always a pleasure having a conversation for you. And for those who express displeasure, it's also a pleasure to displeasure you because I don't care about your opinion. I'm sorry you people say I'm arrogant, but some particular arrogance is needed. Lions do not bother about the opinion of sheep. I'm not calling you a sheep, but I know me, I'm a lion. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Edie. Thank you so much. I don't know if DED has any announcement before we close for today. DED, no?
I have no announcement. So ED has broken the table and shattered it. And in fact, it's been a very interesting class, visual, very intriguing and enlightening for all the students. So just before we go, I would like the students to unmute. But this time around, you're not just thanking ED. Tomorrow is actually his birthday. And since there'll be no class tomorrow, to wish him happy birthday with your voices, I would like you to do that.
Wait. Lisa, they are going to think that I cut classes because it's my birthday in the
No.
college. You know, I'm a politician and I sense this chances of them to think that. I didn't cut class, so it was a mistake that there's no class. So I even fought with Lisa that I'm having to teach on my birthday when I'm supposed to be doing dirty December and carrying some bottles that... For those who were to receive...
So let's just all wish the ED happy birthday in advance. Tomorrow we'll still scatter everywhere. But happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
I switch with the best.
Did he bring our own cake?
Okay, you guys, thank you so much. That was quite loud. I didn't even know what was going on. So thank you very much. It's a privilege. My age is not hidden. I turn 46 tomorrow. Thank you. It's a pleasure. And then those who I said we're going to receive gifts, please get in touch with Lisa or whatever. Yeah, I don't look 46. I don't know. Maybe it's the thing of with teaching the college and having classes. I think I look younger by the day. And thank you, everyone. And they say inclusion and diversity in the administration of birthday cake. What did I teach you guys? For Christ's sake, now I'm at the receiving end of things that, yeah, so of things I taught you. This is the problem. They say students, they always better pass teacher. This is the problem. They are bringing it to my birthday. These are the issues. So thank you very much, Peter. Thank you, but next time I'll jam you people. I'll be a little older, a little calmer, or maybe in the middle of midlife crisis. Who knows? But thank you, everyone. It's a great time to have this class with you guys. Thank you, everyone. So, Lisa, permission to. People are laughing. They say, "Calma." I will. I'm 46. Few years from 50, I'll behave better. I'll be nice. When somebody tells me that displeasure, that I'll be hurt, and I'll say, "Oh man, guys, that really hurt me." I don't care about your feelings. Yeah, I'm not here to pet your feelings. Karma, did some things that will never happen. Let me like a politician tell you about karma, then I'll shock you people. They always say when one like now ED wants to beg for second term as ED. So let me beg now. People, please allow the Lisa vote me as ED again, so that I'll be able to. I'll be nice this time. You guys, have a great time. Lisa, it was great having this class. Thank you, everyone.
All right, Evie. Thank you.